Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an in-depth analysis of a pivotal moment in North American trade relations as of March 5, 2025. Today we re-examining the White House's announcement made earlier this morning at 11:32 Pacific Standard Time of a 30-day reprieve from tariffs on automobiles imported into the United States of America from Canada and Mexico under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement Free Trade Deal. This decision, detailed in a National Post report, comes just one day after President Donald Trump imposed a 25% tariff on all non-energy goods and a 10% tariff on energy resources from Canada and Mexico, effective March 4, 2025, sparking fears of a trade war across the continent. The United States of America and Canada share a trade relationship worth $3.6 billion daily, according to Statistics Canada in 2023, with Canada sending 76% of its $557 billion annual exports south, including $37 billion in vehicles and $20 billion in auto parts per S&P Global Mobility. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, signed in 2020 during Trump's first term, ensures duty-free trade for autos meeting strict North American content rules. 75% of parts must originate in the region. Yet Trump's tariffs, announced via executive order on February 1, 2025, and enacted March 4 after a month's delay, threatened to upend this harmony, projecting a $69 billion loss for Canada by 2028, according to British Columbia's Ministry of Finance in January 2025. This reprieve, requested by General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, the big three automakers, offers a temporary shield, delaying auto tariffs until April 4, 2025, as confirmed by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Trump's broader reciprocal tariffs, set for April 2, remain, but this pause buys time. For Canada, it has a lifeline, easing immediate pressure on Ontario's auto sector and Alberta's oil exports. For the United States of America, it's a pragmatic nod to industry, softening a $1.3 trillion tariff revenue plan, per the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget that risks consumer costs of $1,200 annually, per the Peterson Institute for International Economics in February 2025. With data from government statements, industry analyses, and economic forecasts, we'll explore how this reprieve reshapes trade, industry, and politics for both nations. Canada gains breathing room to bolster its economy. The United States of America balances ambition with practicality. Let's dive into this 30-day window and its far-reaching effects. Let's begin with Canada, because the White House's 30-day reprieve from auto tariffs is more than a pause. It has a chance to regroup and rethink. Canada's economy, valued at $2.1 trillion in 2024 by the International Monetary Fund, leans heavily on trade. 67% of our gross domestic product flows from exports, with 76% heading to the United States of America, per Statistics Canada in 2023. The March 4 tariffs, 25% on goods, 10% on energy, hit hard, with TD Economics forecasting a 5% export drop by 2027 and a 0.6% annual gross domestic product decline in 2025 and 2026. This reprieve, announced March 5, 2025, softens that blow, especially for autos. The auto sector's critical. Canada exported $37 billion in vehicles and $20 billion in parts to the United States of America in 2023, per S&P Global Mobility, supporting 120,000 direct jobs in Ontario alone, according to the Canadian Automobile Association. In 2024, the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement ensures duty-free trade for vehicles with 75% North American content. Think Ford SF Series engines from Windsor. Trump's 25% tariff threatened chaos. Each border crossing could add thousands to costs. per Brookings in February 2025. The Bank of Canada warned on January 30, 2025, of a substantial disruption, with British Columbia projecting 124,000 job losses by 2028 if tariffs stuck. This 30-day pause, requested by the Big Three after a March 4th call with Trump, per Reuters, keeps that lifeline open. General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis employing 60,000 Canadians, per Unifer's 2024 data gains stability. Ontario's plants, producing 1.4 million vehicles annually. Statistics Canada, 2023, avoid immediate layoffs. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce's Business Data Lab, which feared a mid-2025 recession, now sees a window exports hold steady at $57 billion annually in autos, buying time for talks. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's 50-minute call with Trump on March 4th, joined by Vice President J.D. Vance and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, per a senior government source, secured this, with Trudeau's office noting trade and fentanyl as focus points. Beyond relief, it's opportunity. Canada's retaliatory tariffs 25% on $155 billion of United States of America goods. $30 billion immediate announced February 3, 2025, stay paused, per Trudeau's March 5th statement. This avoids a 2.5 to 3% inflation spike. Bank of Canada, January 2025, and a weaker dollar down 8% since September 2024. Council on Foreign Relations, February 2025. Instead, Canada can push diversification. The Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership grew Asia-Pacific trade 12% to $66 billion by 2023. Global Affairs Canada. Japan's $5 billion imports could double by 2030, per the Fraser Institute in 2024, as United States of America markets waver. Europe beckons too. The Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement with the European Union, $92 billion in 2023, offers tariff-free growth. Germany's renewable energy boom $1 trillion by 2030. International Energy Agency craves Canada's lithium and oil 4.2 million barrels daily. This reprieve lets Canada scale to $150 billion by 2030, per the Canadian Chamber of Commerce's November 2024 outlook, offsetting United States of America losses. The $1.36 trillion foreign direct investment stock 2023 holds as firms see stability, not chaos. Canada's not just surviving, it's strategizing for a stronger future. Now, let's shift to the United States of America, because this 30-day reprieve reveals cracks in Trump's tariff armor. The United States of America's $26.9 trillion gross domestic product International Monetary Fund 2024 dwarfs Canada's, with trade at 24% versus our 67% World Bank 2023. Yet, Canada's $680 billion in 2023 imports $120 billion in autos alone. United States Department of Commerce are vital. Trump's March 4th tariffs aimed for a $1.3 trillion revenue boost over a decade. Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, January 2025. But this pause signals trouble. Autos are the pinch point. The United States of America imported $37 billion in Canadian vehicles and $20 billion in parts in 2023. S&P Global Mobility crossing borders multiple times. Think Chevy Silverado parts hitting 25% tariffs 5 times, adding $3,000 per truck. Brookings, February 2025. The reprieve, per White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on March 5th, bows to the Big Three's plea. Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis employ 250,000 Americans. Bureau of Labor Statistics, 2024. Without it, production stalls. The Tax Foundation's March 2025 model predicts 223,000 job losses downstream. Think Caterpillar or John Deere. If tariffs hit full force, consumers feel it. The Peterson Institute's February 2025 study pegs tariff costs at $1,200 per household annually, $71,067 median incomes. Tax Foundation 2025 strain at a 0.8% inflation bump. Brookings. Cars jump thousands, lumber $34 billion. 20% of United States of America supply. United States Department of Commerce delays 1.4 million housing starts. Census Bureau 2023. Per the National Association of Home Builders in February 2025, Trump's revenue $680 billion tariffed from Canada. Mexico shrinks with exemptions, undermining his $5 trillion tax cut. Extensions Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. Supply chains wobble. Canada's $155 billion retaliation. $30 billion immediate cuts. United States of America exports. Peterson Institute widening the $1 trillion trade deficit. 2024. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 554 points to 43,061 on March 5th after the announcement. CNBC cheers relief, not victory. Tariffs still loom. April 2nd. Trump's America First bends under industry pressure, costing economic clarity for Canada's industries. This reprieve is a lifeline with legs. Autos lead the charge. Ontario's 1.4 million vehicles annually. Statistics Canada 2023 fuel 120,000 jobs. Canadian Automobile Association 2024. The 25% tariff threatened shutdowns. Assembly plants like Windsor's Ford facility risked 5,000 layoffs, per Unifer's 2024 estimates. The 30-day pause, secured by Trudeau's March 4th call and Big Three lobbying, keeps lines running. S&P Global Mobility's 2024 outlook sees 20,000 jobs preserved short-term, with potential Asia-Pacific growth. Japan's $5 billion imports adding 10,000 by 2028. If tariffs persist, jobs pivot, not perish. British Columbia's 124,000 projected losses by 2028. Ministry of Finance January 2025 ease lumber and oil stabilize with United States of America demand intact. Alberta's 4.2 million barrels daily 2024 dodged the 10% energy hit for now, per the United States Energy Information Administration's 18% import share. Retaliation $155 billion paused spurs by Canadian on social media platforms like X. February 2025, reviving local manufacturing. Engineers 25% eyeing exit. Engineers Canada 2024 stay for Alberta's $100 billion artificial intelligence hub, per a 2024 announcement, cutting emigration from 94,000. Statistics Canada 2023. Resilience grows. The reprieve buys time for innovation. Canada's $36 billion research and development spend. World Bank 2023 could rise to $64 billion by 2028. Fraser Institute goal, matching United States of America's 3% of gross domestic product. Ontario's auto sector, Nova Scotia's $3 billion fishery 2023, and British Columbia's tech push. Canada adapts, not collapses. Politically, this reprieve is a tightrope. Canada's sigh of relief. 82% reject United States of America annexation. Association for Canadian Studies, January 2025, comes with vigilance. Trudeau's March 4th call, joined by Vance and Lutnick, per a senior government source, tied trade to fentanyl. A $1.3 billion border plan. Canada-European Union 2.0, February 2025, easing Trump's national emergency stance. His office terse March 5th statement. Trade and fentanyl masks 50 minutes of haggling, per the source, staving off a $69 billion hit. British Columbia Ministry of Finance. For the United States of America, it's a concession with strings. Trump's March 4th speech to Congress, "America is back," pushed tariffs, but the Big Three's plea Reuters forced flexibility. Leavitt's March 5th briefing, not at an economic disadvantage, nods to 250,000 auto jobs, Bureau of Labor Statistics, 2024, but reciprocal tariffs loom April 2nd, per the White House. Democrats jeer 53% see a weak union, NPR. PBS News, Marist, 2025. Yet 70% of speech viewers felt somewhat positive. CNN poll by SSRS, balancing Trump's bravado with pragmatism. Tensions simmer. Canada's $155 billion retaliation paused looms if talks falter, per Trudeau. Trump's fentanyl-focused pressures Canada's 900 gun deaths. Statistics Canada versus 48,000 in the United States of America. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Diplomacy holds for now. What's next? For Canada, this 30-day reprieve is a springboard. Asia-Pacific trade $66 billion 2023 could hit $100 billion by 2030. Fraser Institute, with Europe at $150 billion. Canadian Chamber of Commerce. Innovation $36 billion in research and development rises to $64 billion. World Bank goal, cutting brain drain 94,000 immigrants. Statistics Canada 2023. Risks linger. April 4th tariffs could slash 5% of exports. TD Economics, but diversification cushions it. For the United States of America, it's a gamble. The $1.3 trillion Tariff Hull Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget shrinks with exemptions. Auto trade $120 billion. United States Department of Commerce softens the $5 trillion investment pledge. White House, February 2025. Inflation 3% with retaliation. Tax Policy Center threatens Trump's 5 million job goal by 2028. Canada's pivot weakens. United States of America leverage $652 billion exports. 2023 falter. The Dow's 554-point jump. CNBC, March 5th cheers, but long-term costs loom. In closing, the White House's March 5th, 2025, 30-day reprieve from auto tariffs under the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement is Canada's lifeline and the United States of America's recalibration. Canada's $2.14 trillion economy holds firm $57 billion in autos safe. $69 billion losses deferred while pivoting to $250 billion in new trade by 2030. The United States of America's $26.9 trillion juggernaut bends. $1.3 trillion tariff dreams tempered. $1,200 consumer costs delayed. Trudeau and Trump's dance. 50 minutes of trade and fentanyl buys time, not triumph. Canada rises stronger. The United States of America risks overreach.